Hey everybody, what's going on? So today's video is going to be on gratitude, something that I've actually been really trying to work on recently and right now actually. I will explain that in a little bit, but first I want us to take a look at these nice, ridiculous glasses. I was demoing a room at the mall and I caught these boys, and they are awesome. So I'm at my friend's house and I'm just waiting for him to get done, and then I'll finish the video because I have gratitude that he's allowing me to be over here. So what I mean by that is being able to have gratitude towards everything in life and not just specific things. And it actually is almost subconscious, the way that we use it. Now, I would actually like to think that we can use it as a conscious factor in our lives, meaning that the way you can think is always through gratitude, because without it, you're always pessimistic, you're always looking at the downside, you're always trying to take. And all that will do is give you relationships and experiences that are such, because you are attracting the same type of people, the same type of vibration. Now, the couple tools that I'd like to explain to you through gratitude are actually ones that happen during your routine through life. So actually during the day while you're working or while you're doing something, right? Not kind of as a prayer where you sit down and you kind of go, oh, I'm thankful for this, this, and this. I want it to actually be during the occasion, because this way you can actually start to get a feel of what the emotion feels like. Crazy enough. So, this feeling actually comes a little bit out of love and joy. It's kind of a little bit of a mix, and the more and more that you can hone in on this and feel it, the better it becomes. And it actually becomes more of a revolving circle, because then the people in your life are loving and they have joy. And I think that's an interesting paradigm to think about, right? We've been talking about that, top 5 people in your personality is who you become. So I think that's a good little thing to think about. All right, tool and tip number 1. This one is when you're doing something and you're starting to complain, or you're starting to have a negative outlook, or someone in that workplace is dragging you down because they're complaining about whatever it is, right? Have gratitude instead. Try to have something that you're thankful for during that moment. Try to flip the script on your own mental state. Because what this does, especially for the people who are around you that are negative, is it kind of almost stops them. I'll talk about a little bit of more of an energy version of that later on. I'm going to do a meditation video tomorrow. A lot of ideas and things that I have learned through my own testing, and what I hope will help you really get into meditation, because it is something that will pull you into presence so fast. It's crazy. Like, I love it. It's so good. I actually just did one for 30 minutes not too long ago. And it's actually a different type of vibe. I'm very relaxed. Very in presence. No voices in my head. So going back to that tip number 1. So while you're in that situation and you've switched the script, you flipped from the negative thought to something that you're grateful for. I can give you one. You have this job. Sounds crazy, right? Seems kind of minuscule, but at the same time, if you came from that, wouldn't you be happy for where you're at? Wouldn't you be happy for the job that you have? It sounds dumb, right? Because we come so much in conformity, and that we're so used to the job, and that we deserve the job, and that it's ours, right? Our ego kind of plays into it. But why not be thankful and gratitude that you even have the job to begin with? And then be grateful that, you know what, you do have, just like I did with the last video, it's a learning lesson. That dude who's really negative, it is a visual representation of what you could be looking like, what you could be. But instead, you're grateful for the fact that you have someone like that. And I'm not saying that's a positive that he's like that, but I'm saying it's grateful to, in that scenario, be able to see that person and go, you know what? I'm choosing to come from a positive and more grateful standpoint, because I do have this job, and I am thankful for family or friends or money or whatever it is that you have an emotional connection to. It changes the game. Now, the second one is a little skewy on that side, right? So what I mean by that, and something that's a little bit more crazy, is the ability to get this emotion to happen without actually trying to witness and do the grateful feeling, meaning that you're in your head and you're actually having that grateful emotion happening after you said it to them. So, like, let's say you've had the experience. Well, how do you do it without the experience? How can you prime yourself, or kind of like jumpstart yourself into that feeling. This is kind of like a change of state. I want to actually kind of thank my friends for scaring me this way, because it was exactly something that reminded me of how to do this. All right, so it actually just popped into my mind while I was in the car about a week ago. So here it is, and this is something that's kind of crazy. So when you're getting scared, what happens, right? You get a huge amount of shock, your nervous system goes, "Blah," and you're like, oh crap, and your entire state changes. Right? How could you do that with gratefulness as well? What if you're actually starting to get sad or depressed? What's a great kind of quirky, dumb way to do it, right? And I kind of mean dumb as in like a more of a silly way, because at first it seems very silly. It seems very stupid. It's like, okay, I look dumb doing this outside, right? Well, what if it completely changes the state? So let's say you did tip number 1, and you've integrated that a little bit into your life, or at least you've tried it, right? Tested it to see if I'm joking or not, or if what I'm saying is legitimate. Because who knows, right? At least test it. Because I've tried it and it works great for me, but try it. And once you've done this and you've started to kind of get a feeling for what that feels like, what I'd like you to do here, and I'm going to tilt the camera down for us really quick. I want you to take a deep breath in, and then kind of take a step forward and go, with the biggest smile you have on your face. This kind of seems crazy, right? It kind of seems weird. I've been doing the kind of listen videos, kind of ramping it up towards this. But all you gotta do is just take a step forward and go, and feel that state change. Feel the change of emotions. Feel the positive energy going inside of you. It seems so weird and dumb. You're gonna actually have a lot of resistance towards this. But try it, and try it wholeheartedly. I feel this is going to hugely and immensely be able to change the way you can integrate this into your life, to be able to change the state almost instantaneously. And then this is actually kind of more of a Kickstarter, right? Because then it'll kickstart you back into the positive thinking, and then you can try to come from a grateful place and then be happy. And then off of that, you can restart your day, because that thing that annoys you, right? Instead of trying to drag it down and then kind of be like, oh, well, that's going to kind of ruin me for the rest of the day, this is almost an instant, quick little fix for you. All right, so again, just take a deep breath in, and then step forward and smile, and just release all that oxygen, all that prana. All right, guys, I hope that helped. Peace.